Good day. Good day and welcome. Welcome to our salon. I love the idea of the French salon. Notice the way I say it too. Salon. Salon. Sounds like salon. Salon. And what this is, as you know, is a combination of a lot of things. First and foremost, what I give to you, it's absolutely free. You pay nothing for this. Nothing. And you should be racked with guilt. And you should say to yourself, but wait a minute, that's not right. And I agree. But how, pray tell? How? What can I do? How can I support this? How can I say thank you? Where's the little tip jar? Thank you. In the description section, there are loads of little links for you. PayPal and Patreon. I like somebody who says, I don't do that. What? Oh, I don't do that. You don't pay a bill online? Oh, no. Oh, my God. So is guilt appropriate? Yes, because I do this every single day. And I'm telling you right now, and this may sound a bit hubristic, but at the risk of such, nobody, now listen to what I'm saying, nobody is me. Nobody is I, technically speaking. But sometimes when you speak correctly, you know that song, Just You and I, Just You and Me, Eddie Rabbit and Crystal Gale. Was it Eddie Rabbit? Just you and I, it's just you and me. This sounds better. Anyway, so that's that. Next, you must like this. You must like this, and if you are not subscribed, if you are not subscribed, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. And of course, if you really want to get the good stuff, the real good stuff, the real good stuff, kind of like the unrated or unedited, unplugged, please subscribe to the private stuff. And I speak in a way that's not necessarily, I don't believe in being overtly, I don't think I'm necessarily salty in my speaking, but I believe in using a full-throated, a panoply of words that explains what's going on. I was listening before to an interview. I'm not going to go too much into detail, of a very talented person, very popular, who was interviewing somebody, and the subject of Watergate came up. And this interviewer said very nicely, very correctly, well, I don't know anything about Watergate. I really don't know anything. I don't know what to say about what you don't know about Watergate. And I got to tell you this, because this was before your time. Teapot Dome was before my time. This was during the Harding administration. I understand that. Please remember this today. History is about stuff that happened before you were born. And it's not a good idea for you to ever say, I don't know anything about this because I wasn't around then. You may not have been around for World War I. You might not have been around for the bombing of the Maine in Havana Harbor in 1898. You might not have been around for World War II and the Korean War. That is not an excuse. Do not ever brag about not knowing something. Do not brag. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. That's all I want to tell you. Now, I have spent most of my life walking around seeming to know stuff nobody else knows. Seriously, I mean, nobody knows this. And the subject that I wanted to mention, give you an example, with ChatGPT, AI, AGI, artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence. I cannot put into words how big this is. I cannot explain to you the enormity. Look what Google is doing. Look what they're reacting. Look who is investing in such. And invariably, if I'm out having lunch with somebody or we're sitting around and I defy every instinct of mine to bring this up, like, have you noticed these are people who are in their 60s, maybe 70s, been around, I don't want to say of means, but, who are, not kids. They don't know anything. Ignorance will kill you. Ignorance will kill you, and incuriosity will kill you. Incuriosity will kill you. Incuriosity will destroy you. It's this thing. It's worse than anything. Ignorance, whatever, is one thing. But incuriosity, not even caring, not even being slightly motivated to say, what is that? I don't understand it. I do not understand that. Why do I have it and they don't? Curiosity. What is that? What is that thing? How does this work? What is that? Explain that to me. We're going to be talking about this at a level that, well, frankly, I trust we are going to thoroughly, I don't know what to tell you. And I always find myself saying, I don't want to bring this up. I don't want to bring this up. I know if I bring this up, they're not going to know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. Recently, there was some discussion for the first time of people who say, you know what I just found out about Richard Nixon and Watergate and what he said to Richard Helms in the FBI? Oh my God. I went into great detail with that. I went into great detail. Go to lionelmedia.com. Read the titles of read the titles of my video presentations, and that'll give you an idea of what I'm looking at, because I don't know what to say anymore. But right off the bat, I'm going to say right now, I believe in a lot of things, and I believe in the power of the pillow. And there is no finer organization than our friends at mypillow.com. Only if you use the promo code Lionel. You want to find out about look at this, bathrobe closeout sale. I just saw this right now. Brand new. They change all the time. The biggest bed sheet sale ever. Percale sheet sale. Overstock sale. My slippers. The slippers are through the roof. 6-piece My Pillow towel sets. Sandals. Mattresses. Plush blankets. Beach towels. Sleep systems. Mattress toppers. Down blankets. Loungewear. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I say to you, I want you to pick up the phone right now, if you are so inclined, because I still use the phone. I really do. And call 800-645-4965. MyPillow.com. Use a promo code Lionel and get a free gift. I realize it's tautological, but it is not. Go. MyPillow.com. Promo code Lionel. Okay? Go. Do you remember a while back, there was this story that came out, and I want you to remember this, called Deep Blue. I don't know if it was 96 or 90, I don't know when it was, but it was a while back. 94, something. 96 maybe. And it was, what was it, Kasparov? It was Kasparov against Deep Blue. This was an IBM computer. And people were saying this. They said, you can't program a computer to play chess. Why is that? Because the computer doesn't know how to intimidate and bluff and show the human reactions, and you can't do this. You can't. You can't. It won't work. Well, they did. I believe Kasparov was beaten, and they go, well, that's the end. That's the end of human chess. This was kind of like AI meets chess. Do you remember that? Now, the chess world has never been bigger. Magnus Carlsen is Spassky, Bobby Fischer, Capablanca, Kasparov, everybody rolled up into one. Hikaru Nakamura, very, very video savvy. Arnond, Caruana, Wesley So. Who was the... I'm trying to think. Who was the... It's also, where are the women? This is so interesting. Karpov is there. But I was looking at... There was also that incredibly... that very interesting... If you recall that... and there's a point to what I'm saying. Please don't be confused. Don't be alarmed. But there was a while back where... There was this allegation that somebody was actually cheating using certain devices that might have been implanted internally to give certain codes. And I think you know what I'm talking about, okay? Chess is bigger now than ever. Chess is big. And there are computers that can beat Carlsen. There are computers that can destroy Carlsen. Destroy him. Why am I saying this? What is the point of what I'm saying? Have you figured this out yet? First question, let me ask you. Do you care if you hear a song, if you say, I love that song? What is that? Oh, that's so-and-so. That's incredible. That's wonderful. I love that. What's the name of that group? The Asbestos Flywheel. Wow. And then later on I said, guess what? That was AI. What? That was AI. That was all AI. Or AGI. Artificial General Intelligence. That's not real. No human wrote that. No human wrote that. What if I told you that the song Freebird, if you like that, wasn't written by Leonard Skinner? No. It was written by a computer. Would it make any difference to you? No. When you use GPS, do you care how you get there? No. Do you care if somebody says, listen, my wife or my sister or my mother is having a mammogram, and we have the results of this, and I tell you, I'm going to take her results and I'm going to put this into a database, an artificial intelligence database, machine learning, where they have every mammogram that has ever been produced since the beginning of time, and it's going to compare it to that. Do you mind if I do that? It's got a 100% accuracy rate. No, I want a human. I want old Doc Levinson. Why? Well, he has judgment, and he knows my mom. And wait a minute, excuse me. What? No, you're going to better believe it. Do you mind computer assist on your car? No. So here's my question. Why is there this automatic resistance? Because I was doing it at first until I stopped myself. I said, wait. What am I doing? There's this automatic resistance that people have to. Oh, no. If you remove the human element of this, what if Do you like Quentin Tarantino movies? Let's assume you do. I like them. I like their style. I like their grittiness. I like the idiosyncratic things he does. I like the sound. There's always a food element. There's always, it seems, some foot reference or something, which is, I guess, one of his signature lines. I don't know. But if I were to say, okay, I've got a computer right now, and this computer will write the next Quentin Tarantino script. And you say, this is fantastic. And if Tarantino looks at it and says, this is great, what difference does it make? Oh, no. No, I love the plot line. I love the story. No, I want a human to do this. I want to know that this piece of poetry, I want to know that this artwork, I want to know that, what? What? What are you talking about? Think about this for one thing, because technology is this one. This is the point that is being missed completely. But first, I want you to think about this also. I want you to think that one day, imagine one day, you read in the news that there is some supply chain breakdown. There's something goes wrong, and you find out that your store is closed, that food is unavailable. And you say, that's okay, we're set. What do you mean? Well, a while back, when I heard Lionel mention this at preparewithlionel.com, I've got 3-month emergency food supplies for everyone here. That's 2,000 calories a day, 21 varieties, up to a 25-year shelf life, with breakfast, lunches, dinners, drinks, snacks, in reusable heavy-duty 4-layer pouches with oxygen absorbers. They weigh about 120 pounds. This is each, no MSG added. Sealed in 6 rugged, water-resistant buckets. Free shipping, anonymous, and I saved $250 on this. I took advantage of that. Don't worry. You did? I did. I've got them. For everyone here, we have 90 days worth of food in case everything stops. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense? Is that wise? I think it is. So if you think that's wise, you're going to go to preparewithlionel.com, preparewithlionel.com, preparewithlionel.com. Unless you don't think it makes sense. It's up to you. This isn't heavy selling. I'm not doing it. But if you think that makes sense, and it does, you go to preparewithlionel.com now. Now. Okay. I have this wonderful appreciation for stopping my immediate reaction to saying, oh, wait a minute. Think about this one. How many times have you gotten yourself worked up over something? How many times do you get yourself, you think about what somebody's done to you, right? Have you ever done that? You think, you know what, nobody's going to do that to me. He's not going to get away with that. A boss or a coworker or somebody. How many times does that happen to you? And you think about it, and you stew, and you get mad, and you get angry, and you just. And you ask yourself, and you think to yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I acting like this? What is the purpose of this? You don't really know, because you have a reflex. It's like a reflex reaction. It's like, why are you doing this? Why are you acting like this? I don't know. I just do this. Well, stop doing this. Well, that's the way I am when it comes to the idea of artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence, and the like. We're not talking robots here. We're talking about something that's completely different. Why is the human form, the human mind, what can only be done through humans? First, you have not seen what robots are going to look like in the next, not even 10 years. Are you familiar with singularity? Singularity is the issue of issues of issues. It is the most important. And it's defined in so many ways. It's been let me give you one of the definitions of this, just to give you an idea, because it's one of those classics that you must kind of grasp this. Singularity. Let me see this. Singularity. It's not really. Hang on a minute. See what I'm doing right now? It's called research. Singularity. A point. No, that's not it. Hang on. Singularity means. I want to get this good. I want to really. Here we go. No, it's singularity theory. This is the technical singularity. This is a hypothetical future point in which technological growth becomes uncontrollable and irreversible, resulting in unforeseeable changes to human civilization. Now, the way this is, if you read Ben Goertzel, Ray Kurzweil, if you listen to what they say, it's always a positive thing, but it's almost like an avalanche. This is where things are happening so fast. There's a wonderful YouTube channel, a number of them, that says the top 5 websites you should have. And if you put your picture in, and this will write, right now under ChatGPT, for example, you could say, give me a 500-word essay on mammalian apoptosis. Boom. And you've got it. And it will write it for you. And it will write it in a way that cannot be detected as plagiarism. It will know all of this, all of the stories that have been written about it. It will know all of that, and it will write it in such a way that it will be it's almost like beating the test for PEDs and the like. And you're going to be letters for it. It is something that is just incredible. There was recently there was a rabbi who had his sermon written via AGI, and it was incredible, and it was great. And he was trying to find fault with it. I'm thinking, well, why? And the congregation liked it. What's wrong with that? What is so special about the human form? Now, I don't know about you, but let me tell you something. I cannot imagine what it is like for somebody to want to have or to marry or to be with, and I'll leave it at that, for lack of a better word, a robot, an AI-fueled robot. Listen to what I am telling you. Remember when Sophie was granted human status in Saudi Arabia? Remember that one? It is going to happen. And you are going to have people who, along with changing and retooling everything from pronouns to marriage to this to that, you are going to have one day, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, you will have the law recognize the legal status of you marrying a device. Now, it's very interesting because we're going to run into some problems because technology lags behind the law, or the law rather lags behind technology. I don't know how it's going to be, for example, how an AI instrument is going to take under the will predetermined spouse under probate provision. There's a lot of legal stuff. I don't really know. Can you kill this? Is it murder? We're redefining what a human being is. So will we say that shooting or destroying, making inoperable put it this way, destroying the existence of Sophie the robot, is that murder? And if you're laughing at what I'm saying, if you're thinking that what I'm saying is so crazy, you haven't been paying attention. All it takes is for somebody to change the definition of something as to what murder is, irrespective of common law, irrespective of what we thought a human being was. That's it. There are things that have changed drastically. There was a term that was used before is called quickening. And quickening was, let me see, Henry de Bracton explained the ancient law about 500 years before Blackstone. Blackstone was the Moses, so to speak, of legal. I don't know what that means. If one strikes a pregnant woman or gives her poison in order to procure an abortion, if the fetus is already formed or quickened, especially if it is quickened, he commits homicide. And quickening was movement. Quickening is the point at which a pregnant woman can first feel the movements of the growing embryo. And as you know, and as you probably know, that as we discuss and the courts discuss the history of Dobbs and Roe and everything, the history dealt with this notion called quickening. Well, that changed as well. What's the definition of life? When is a person dead? Is it brain dead? Is it cardiac death? Is it decomposition? What is a minor? What is an adult? What is this? What is that? What is drunk? What is... the law can change. If you were to, God forbid, let's say, bring about the death of someone's pet, well, what is that called? Yeah, that's a great question. I'm wondering, well, what is that called? I don't know if there's a statute for killing a pet, because you have to go to court and you have to say, well, define a pet. What is a pet? I'm sure there might be something called a service animal. That's I just said this right now, and I'm wondering, I don't know what if you shoot a pet, is there any status other than property? Is it criminal mischief? Is it vandalism? I don't know. Is it conversion? Is it theft of life? Cessation? It would be the same as me going up and, killing your car. But a dog is not the same as a car. So we'll get to that. I want you to stop for a second. Think about this. Because everything is changing so fast. And I don't want you to be caught. I don't want you to be caught behind the lines, so to speak. Now, I want to also tell you something. Everybody's interested. Oh, if you go on YouTube, you'll swear everybody's interested in health like you can't believe. Health. What you got to do, health. And what should you eat? And what should you do? And well, right now, I'd like to talk about our dear friends at Z-Stack, because you can get up to 15% off of Z-Stack for yourself and your kids before they sell out this flu season. And right now, there is a wonderful, a pluripotent, that's to use stem cell terminology, but this incredible elixir, this potion that contains C, of course, D, which is I can't speak enough about D. It's really a hormone than a vitamin. But D and zinc, but quercetin, which is a bioflavonoid, and how bioavailable phytonutrients, plant-based stuff. Because I know you're not eating the right. I'm not here to give you a hard time, but I know you're not eating enough. But there are things that are contained in plants that benefit us, especially when it comes to colors, tints, adaptations to ward off insects, to ward off the effects of the sun. That's why grapes, resveratrol, for example, why grapes, and I think wine is good, because in order to be a grape, to withstand the heat, the sun doesn't just dry them out. They've adapted, and that adaptation benefits through us. So if you like this, you will go and use this. Go right now to our Z-Stack, and it's in the description as well. But use this particular link and get 15% off. All right? Trust me. You got to know. Supplements are important. Anybody who does plant-based should be doing B12. Not a lot. But once a week, B12. Got to do it. Got to make sure. B12. People who are eating regular diets don't have to worry about it. But plant-based, I don't want to use the V word, but to avoid serious nerve damage, B12. Got to do it. And D, you're not getting enough. And don't tell me you live in Florida. Don't tell me. Anyway. I could sit around and talk about this forever because I'm thinking, what next? Where does this go? Where does this even go? How are we right now? You look at anybody in the Congress. Look at anybody and ask yourself: do you think they're aware of the effects, the upcoming effects of singularity? Just watch C-SPAN and ask yourself: does this crew know what's going on? This is both sides of the aisle. You are going to see a technological, one day, it's just because ChatGPT is here. It's already here. It's not coming, it's here. It's, you are going to be seeing, at first, let me ask you this, you're going to be seeing YouTube channels, social media channels that are AI and AGI motivated. You're going to be seeing, and you're going to think it cool at first. There's going to be some kind of some kind of not a hologram, but something that is generated based upon. It's going to take all of these configurations of me, my voice and what I look like, and it will generate me. It will be completely indistinguishable from me, and it will be me. And it will also, I'll program what I wanted to say, or it could take everything that has ever been said, repackage it as it has learned me, knowing my phrases, knowing my delivery, my tone of voice, what I say, the volume, and I will be able to turn me on, and that's it. I don't have to do this anymore. It's not me, though, but it is, but it's not. Think about this. If you're a gourmet, if you want to see, if you believe in a Gordon Ramsay, let's say you say, you know what, I'd love to go to a Gordon Ramsay restaurant, but I don't have the time, and Gordon Ramsay, and I can't get there, and it's too expensive. Somebody says, wait, no problem here. We have programmed Gordon Ramsay making something. The Gordon Ramsay cheeseburger, let's say. Here, we've got it. This device will do it. Not only is it AI or AGI, but it can mimic exactly what Gordon Ramsay does. It does everything. The heat of the skillet, the brushing of the sage, the mirepoix, the chiffonade, bouquet garni that you use and that you use as a how do I say this? You use, because they're using butter, they're cooking in the pan, and anyway, does everything. It does exactly what Gordon Ramsay does. Every single time. It's perfect. It can pick up temperature differentials nobody else can do. It's Gordon Ramsay. It's exactly what he does. The same bread, the same this, the same that. You don't have to go anywhere else. That's who it is. Think about that. And then you can argue, well, it's not him. Well, he's not there anyway. If you go to a Gordon Ramsay restaurant, he's probably not there. He's not there with this either. What's the point? Then we get into surgeries. And then when you get into surgeries, you're going to have to ask yourself, why is it so expensive? You've got a doctor. Do you know how long it takes for a doctor to go through this? I can do this like that. I can create this device. If you're going to do an appendectomy, it's going to be able, by virtue of also learning, it studied every appendectomy, it knows everything that's there. It knows how to suture like you cannot believe. It'll weld. It can detect if you nick a bowel or this. It can do everything. It can do everything. And it costs nothing. A doctor, 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, residency, postdoc, this, intern, it's forever. They come out there 30-some years old. How many of these do you want? What do you want? You know these sessions called Physicians Without Borders? You know, they go, we knew this one fellow who was, He was an ophthalmologist, and he would go to different parts of third world countries and help people with cataracts and do all this stuff. And we can do that all the time. No problem. Costs nothing. Got a machine. Once I make it, that's it. It's going to cost a heck of a lot more. I don't need all this stuff. Healthcare costs will drop. You're going to be at home. You're going to sit there, and this thing is going to look at you. And it's going to be able to look at you in ways. There will be lenses. There will be detectors from smells, and they'll be able to pick up olfactory scents that you're giving off. They'll be able to look at your eyes and your pallor. They'll be able to listen to your voice, record it, pick up a tremor. You're going to put a little like a plethysmograph or some kind of detector. You're going to connect it. All your Fitbit stuff that I would think about that if I want all my medical data. But it's going to be doing everything for you. Why do we want Marcus Welby? Remember him? Ask your parents. Why? Why are we? Do you know what's going to happen? And when somebody's going to say, I used to be a doctor. What? I used to be a doctor. We have one of the best old-fashioned ophthalmologists around today. I'm not going to mention his name. But he's like old school. He does it. He is incredible. And he's a medical school professor, and he says, this is what people don't do today. I look at this. Is it better like this? Is it better like that? And I want you to go to this. I'm not kidding you. To get an eye exam, Mrs. L, what is it, honey? Like about a half an hour, 45 minutes each. He takes so much time. There's nothing like it. I'll take his wisdom, his knowledge, machine learn it. I'll do that. Sit in, go like this. Take a picture of it. I know what this is. You've got a cataract. You've got this, and you've got amblyopia. I'll check for pressure, for glaucoma. I'll give you exactly the particular prescription. And better yet, this is my favorite. As you get older, you know this. Everybody these little cataracts are kind of floating around there, and they're in the peripheral. In fact, I was just reading about one the other day. It was very interesting. I was fascinated by this. And it was something called I wrote this down. These subcapsular cataracts, and because a friend of mine's got one, and they're and you watch and how they merge. So what other people will say is, have you ever thought about getting, surgery to correct, lenses? I haven't, because I got the glasses. But what he was saying is, you know what? Wait until you need it. Pretty soon they'll just give you a new lens. Don't even worry about it. Give you a new lens. We'll make a lens for you. We'll take care of that. The idea of not being able to see will be like, no. And you'll be able to go to a doctor or go at home and save oodles, because this particular, theoretically, unless of course, human greed and the person who makes the device or the system charges through the roof. This is all going to happen. Do you enjoy reading? Do you enjoy novels? I remember somebody like Danielle Steele. What if I give you like her? Read this one. We took Danielle Steele. You like Civil War history? Here's Shelby Foote. We've got his style. Read this one. This is even better. Oh, you want less dialogue? Program it. Here you go. Read this. This is your history. And do you like politics? This is the best. This is the best. Do you want the news? Yes. Would you like the news a little bit left, a little bit right, a little bit this, a little pro-America, anti-America? Do you want to... Narrowcasting. This is this wonderful thing. Here you go. Here's your news. It is your personal news. How do you like that? Hey, I like this. Great. All true. All correct. But it's like taking something. If I were to make a meat dish for, let's say, an Indian, Asian, versus a Hawaiian, be a lot sweeter, versus an American, versus an Italian, Northern versus Southern, I'm going to take the basic thing, but I'm going to just change a few things. But it's meat. Same thing with news. Same thing with information. I'm going to give it to you, but I'm going to give it in a way that's palatable. Okay? That is palatable and palpable. Now let me stop right there. Listen to me very, very carefully. You know that you've been reading, and I mentioned one time, I still think the most fascinating subject are EMPs, electromagnetic pulses. This is, God forbid, there is a Carrington class, a Carrington effect, EMP, the electronics, the grid, unbelievable. Now, there was a veteran-owned company from the Midwest called EMP Shield, and they've invented a device that you can hook up. And by the way, they have undergone testing at Keystone Compliance, which is a military certified facility, and the Department of Homeland Security. And this device is used, or that they have devices to protect not just your vehicle or your home, because remember, your car, everything, car, phone, but your generator, solar system, ham radio, RV, everything. So listen to this. This is one of the most remember the Carrington event? Remember this? Look it up. It's in history. 19th century, 18 something. It was a solar EMP basically. Every telegraph kept gone. That's just a solar flare. Nothing even nefarious as far as we know. So right now, where do you go? Well, do this. This is the most. Do you ever see on Twitter sometimes there'll be some great new gimmick, not gimmick I shouldn't say, but some gadget, some gizmo, where you say, you know what, I've got to have that thing. That's great. So I love the way somebody thinks about that. Well, here's one where you will say, this makes a lot of sense. It's EMP Shield. There it is. And everything that I've mentioned is in the comment section of this. Let me stop for 1 second about design. My poor beloved wife, by the way, has heard me say this, but I'm amazed by this. This is a sphere. This is a ball. You can squeeze this, whatever, but it's a ball, it's a sphere. And there's no way to improve upon this. It's a sphere. That's it. Or some people say a spear. Like people say pamphlet. Pamphlet. Anyway, this is a sphere. This is a sphere. Can't get better than that. Then there are some designs that are just so beautiful. There's a wonderful book called, Quintessence. I've got it. It's about perfectly designed things. Somebody went and recently, after a series of incremental changes, they said, why don't we put wheels on a suitcase? I mean, how long? Nobody thought of this? Nobody thought of it? And then somebody said, wait a minute, let's have wheels that spin 360 so you can just push. That came 10 years after they... Well, what if, because of AI and design, we have that? What if all of a sudden... Remember the stories of Steve Jobs? Steve Jobs said he had his phone. He took his iPhone. I know this is a mouse, but he didn't like the type of glass. He didn't like the way it was beveled. He sent it back to his production team. Changed the corners. I don't like these colors. I don't like this. I want this box to be designed different. Send it back. I don't know how many people it took to design the box, but every particular part of his design was made by Steve Jobs. Okay, now here's the question. What if I can reduce Apple to nothing? And I'm talking about not human workers, not in China or in Austin, Texas, but complete robots. Minimize the cost, but also learning new designs. I'm looking for something that, for example, I want an iPhone or a cellular phone that has better reception. I can't use it. And if you're in a tall building, forget it. I've just eliminated 30 jobs. Now that's a problem. That's a problem. AG and AGI are going to be, let's get really wild, okay? One day, they're going to have one of these things, something like this. This is one of those USB connectors into this USB-C. It's one of these little connector things. And you're going to have some way of, I don't know what, connecting. So one day, you're going to take Grandpa, and you're going to go like this, figuratively, or maybe actually, I don't know. And Grandpa, his likes, maybe his smell, his jokes, his idiosyncratic quirkiness that makes Grandpa Grandpa. But Grandpa is going to be uploaded into a system. Maybe, I don't know, whatever. And I'm using terms that are probably going to be outdated within a week. Clouds or whatever. And when Grandpa goes to that big reward, you've got Grandpa here in this. It's a machine learned artificial intelligence, AGI, version, a robot or whatever of Grandpa. Or maybe just maybe a hologram, maybe a voice, maybe something whatever. Grandpa never goes. Grandpa never dies. Grandpa comments on what's happening, knowing the way he thought then, a new event happens. The next president that's elected, Grandpa is going to talk to you about it and was going to react the way Grandpa would have reacted had he been alive, using his own. And Grandpa will be able to determine how his sensibilities have evolved or not over the years. I'm telling you something. You have no this is the second time I am awestruck. You know the word awesome? You use it probably far too much. 2 times this has happened in recent memory as an adult. One is the notion of extraterrestrial existence and what can be learned from that. That's one of these. Wow. This is the second time. This is the one that makes me think. And I'm hearing futurists who have been at levels, you might have read Heinlein or Asimov or, Clark and others in 2001. Okay. And they were considered sci-fi and maybe a little bit of I don't know. But what you're going to be seeing in the immediate future is going to be beyond anything. You know how it took, Higgs boson, right? Remember that God particle and all that stuff. Higgs boson, Higgs field. We always forget about the boson part, but the Higgs, remember that? Okay. That took forever. And for years, it was predicted, and it was finally proven true during the Hadron Collider, during this, whatever. And when they said, this makes sense, Higgs wept because he said this before it was actually proved. He said, this has to be a string theory and blah, blah, blah. But this has to be, this Higgs field is the only way I can explain this to happen. For example, string theory only works if there are 11 dimensions. 11. Not 4. Not a tesseract. That's 4. This is 11. Okay? Now, what if, under this new system, we have discoveries like this all the time? We don't have, not string theory, but string theory is outdated, and we have this theory. And once it starts, people like Terence Tao, people like Edward Witten, mathematicians, and we don't need them anymore. What are we waiting you in these little inventions, little discoveries about prime numbers? Who cares? This is where we're doing. We don't need you anymore. We don't need you. So will humans be extinct? No. I go back to what I said before. We had Deep Blue. people still want to see Magnus Carlsen play whoever. Even though a machine can beat him, you're still going to want to watch NFL football. I don't know about social events like going to concerts. Maybe people are kind of getting away from that. But you will one day, in my opinion, there will be people marrying machines, people granting machines, what we would call a machine, a new status. It will once singularity hits, it's out of the box. It's gone. It just there's no holding anybody back. Now progress is incremental. It's kind of like, oh, that's interesting. And the people who will not be able to appreciate this will be left behind. Your ability to open your mind to this is going to be absolutely critical. I cannot emphasize this enough. And you are going to ask yourself this question: why do I want to watch or listen to X on a TV show, on a cable news platform? Why do I want to hear X when he barely understands what is happening now? Why? Why do I want that? It is fascinating. Okay. Let that sink in. I'm in the oh wow stage. Now, if you'd like to follow some of the most brilliant commentary on Twitter, there's two ways to do it. One, you can follow me, or two, you can follow Mrs. L. And what she is doing and what she is explaining on Twitter in particular, follow this right now at Lynn's Warriors. Oh, by the way, that's her site, which is also critical, where you can sign up for. Let me give you her where is her? Mrs. L on Twitter. There we go. Right here. This is the one. There's a lot of good stuff. A lot of great stuff. But I am telling you, and I want you to listen to me carefully, when this hits, and it's going to be one day within, I don't know, 5 years, who knows? I don't know. It is going to be so fast. Everything that you know. They're going to take people and they're going to say, if you like, I don't know who, name somebody on TV or a podcast, somebody, me, whatever. They will say, okay, we're going to give you a supercharged version of this. And better yet, we'll be able to give you, you'll be able to tune in to me. Listen to this. Maybe I can license my image. And AGI will program what I say to what you know, because it will have every insight, every impact, it will know all of your biometrics, psychometrics. It will know everything about what you like, what you don't like, what you believe, what you hope. And it will be able to allow me to speak to you in a way that only you hear. Nobody else gets it. If you're not, as the kids used to say in the 60s, blown away, you're not paying attention, or you simply don't get it. And I know you get it. All right, that's it. 54 minutes of nothing but free fun. Remember, subscribe to this channel, like this channel, and more importantly, if you want to support my efforts and thank me, just thank me for providing this to you absolutely free. Oh, the likes are 171. Like this, subscribe to this. Please go and see that those particular features at PayPal and Patreon and Cash App and all of that stuff. Okay? Okay, good. You have a great and a glorious day. Thank you for everything. We'll talk to you tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Dead.